We are down to our final 8 here at the Phat Stacks tournament at Phat Fish in Dickinson, North Dakota. Right before we broke to our final table, 2 players went all in from the bubble in 9th place. So Joe Kessel of Glendive, Montana went out in 9th place, taking home $450. We have our final 8 at the table right now. It's going to heat up pretty good. I'm going to introduce our tournament director, Dana Castaneda, World Series of Poker bracelet winner. Dana, how's the day gone so far?
It's gone very good. Thank you, Brian Peck.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dana. That's all I needed to ask you. So, but we are going to go ahead and get into introducing our players. Actually, before we do that, I'm going to say our top prize here today, $4,200. So one of these 8 players behind me are going to be taking home that fat stack of cash. So let's go ahead and introduce our players. In seat 1, we have Kevin Crone, $280,000 in chips. He is out of Dickinson. He's no stranger to our live stream today. In seat 2, Chance Lang of Dickinson, $710,000 in chips. Seat 3, another no stranger to our final table, Jerry Pockel, $715,000 in chips. He is our chip leader here on our final table. In seat 4, J.J. Mullen, $300,000 in chips. He's also out of Dickinson. Another Dickinson native, Iggy Weigel. Iggy Weigel the Weigel out of Dickinson, $415,000 in chips. In seat 6, Merrill Piercy, $130,000 in chips, also out of Dickinson. In seat 7, Grant Miller. Guess what? He's also from Dickinson. $130,000 in chips. And rounding off our final table in seat 9, Johnny Wenlick. He's got $375,000 in chips. So let's go ahead to our final table action.
All right, guys, your blinds are 10, 20, 20. Please deal.
So we're going to get into our action on our final table here. We had 65 players whittled down to 8 at a $14,000 prize pool. Again, first place here tonight is going to be taking home $4,200. So we're just going to ease into our first hand with not a whole lot going on. There's our starting chip stack. Blinds are at 10K, 20K with a 20,000 chip big blind ante. And then we'll go ahead and check out those payouts. Getting up into 4th place is where a real good pay jump is, from that 1,100 to 1,400. And I always forget to do it, but introduce myself. My name is Brian Peck of the Dakota Poker Tour. Happy to be commentating alongside absolutely no one. But I am next to my main man, Goose, driving the train, doing the live stream, doing the graphics. It's basically a 2-man band here, and we can play 10 instruments at once. It's wonderful. So Iggy's going to fold. I'm going to fold around to seat 2, Chance Lang. He's going to raise it up. Looks to be about 75,000 maybe, 70,000. Over to Jerry Pockel, Ace-Jack. He has sat in the same, well, not the same chair, but sat in the same table all day long. If you joined us for our first live stream today, Jerry was in seat 8. He's now moved over to seat 3. Had a short conversation with him, and he just said he kept getting cards, obviously, and that's why he's here at the final table. You may notice that our last year's winner, Jeff Gabb, is not here. So I think he did run fairly deep down to maybe the third table. But he's no longer here. But maybe he'll show up in a future DPT event. I know he's coming all the way from Dickinson, but we've seen him down in Vegas for the FPN National Championship, and I've seen him a couple times in either Fargo or Jamestown even. But all that means is we're going to have a new Dakota Poker Tour Season 11 champ here tonight. So we're history in the making. It's going to be absolutely incredible. So we fold around to Kevin Crone. $20,000 to call. Looks like he is reaching for chips. Kevin's going to raise it up to $50,000. And we'll fold around to J.J. Mullen. J.J., one of those guys that just likes to keep his head down and stay on the grind. We couldn't even get him to tilt his head up for a picture. But J.J. will call over to Iggy. Got some pretty cool names, in my opinion, at this table. Merrill, Iggy, JJ, Chance. Loving all those names. So it'll be JJ and Kevin on to the flop together. Oh, heck, yep. And our flop will come for King 10. 2 clubs out there. Action will be first on JJ. And the fan section here is absolutely electrifying. Pretty incredible cast of characters out in the crowd cheering on Grant Miller, seat 7. So Kevin will bet 100,000. JJ will fold. Probably wise. From the back of your shirt, it's on there. Okay, shout it out.
Is it all over the world?
It is actually worldwide. Nationwide. We have spammers from India. All right. We'll give a little shout out to Iggy Weigel Insurance. Obviously, they insure things. I'm not sure much else, but if you are looking for insurance, Iggy is your guy. Call. I was about to read the phone number on your shirt, but you moved. There it is, 701-483-8314. That's a local number. You won't get any spam from that, so. And Johnny Wenlick is going to raise it up to 60,000. Over to Kevin Crone. So Kevin will call the raise to 60,000 over to Chance Lang. And he will fold, so we're going to have minimum 2 people to a flop. We'll see what J.J. Mullen decides to do with his 2 cards. 60K to call. J.J. is one of our shorter stacks at the table. So no matter what decision he makes, he's got to be a little bit more conscious of how many chips he's giving up. Because if he doesn't either catch anything on the flop or have a premium hand to fight off any others, yeah, there he's going to go all in. All in for about 210,000. Iggy, the insurance man Weigel, will fold. And on to Johnny Wenlick, 150,000 to call. He will shove all in as well, trying to box Kevin out of the pot, so he'll have a decision to make here. Nice aggressive move. Kevin maybe wisely throwing, suited connectors are nice, especially a queen jack, but when you're facing 2 all-ins, you got to think that one or both of your cards are dead once you flip them up. So here we'll see Johnny Cowboys versus JJ's ace-9. And our flop comes 8, jack, 7. JJ picking up a gut shot. Needs a 10 or an ace. And a 6. Picks up more outs. He's got an open-ender. Needs a heart. All those ones up there. And it comes a 4. It's a blank. That'll eliminate J.J. Mullen in 8th place. J.J. will be taking home $600 for his efforts here today. This was a one-day tournament. Started at noon. It's now 9:45 in the evening. That's mountain time. So J.J. Mullen will be eliminated. Give a little shout out to a couple of our fans there. There's the man behind the beard. Kevin Crone looking down at 2 cards, and he'll make a decision on what he wants to do based on those 2 cards. And he'll raise it up to 60,000. Chance will fold. Jerry folds. Looks like again, there we see our payouts. J.J. Mullen eliminated in 8th place. Joe Kessel was eliminated in 9th. Again, we had 2 all-ins on both tables right before, on the bubble. And both people got eliminated. So that was 10th and 9th place gone in one shot. Johnny had the more chips. I'm not sure who went out in 10th place, but Johnny had more chips than the other player, so he will take home the $450.
All in here?
Grant's going to go all in for 90,000 in chips. Not a lot at all. Jerry's 600K in his stack. Definitely won't cripple him should he call. And he makes the call. So we're going to flip them up. We have back-to-back all-ins. Jerry Pockel's ace-queen versus Grant Miller's sixes. And our flop comes. 3 jack queen. Jerry spikes a queen on the flop. Grant's looking for a 6 and a 6 only. There's a 3. There's 1 6 left in the deck. Will he find it? He does not. It's another queen, insult to injury. Jerry says, how about another queen? So Grant Miller eliminated in 7th place. He's going to take home $770. And these players are that much closer to a 4-digit payout and ultimately a $4,200 top prize here at Fat Fish Brewery in Dickinson, North Dakota. Chance of fold, Jerry folds. And it looks like we're having another all-in. Merrill Piercy is going to go all-in for about 80,000. Action is on Kevin Crone, up to him in the big blind. Whether or not he will call. He said he wishes he had 2 better cards because 10-7 just does not cut it. So Merrill will pick up blinds and antes.
Attention players, the blinds have changed. The small blind is 15,000 and the big blind is 30,000. Then, the ante is 30,000.
Randy, to keep your points up. Thank you, sir.
Blinds will be going up to 15K, 30K with a 30K big blind ante. Here we see Iggy raising to 75,000. Kevin Crone will have to, in the small blind, making some decisions. He's counting out some chips. Appears as if he's either going to call or raise it up. He'll call. Action now on Chance Lang. And we'll be 2 players into the flop. Flop comes Jack 7-3. Kevin will check. So we'll check on the flop, and an ace of clubs comes on the turn. So Iggy will lead out with a 70,000 chip bet. Kevin will call fairly quickly. And our turn comes a 6 of spades. Option is on Kevin. So the flush draws do get there. Kevin betting in 75,000. Iggy going all in for 220,000, putting Kevin's tournament life at stake. Really, the only question for Kevin is, did Iggy hit the flush? Very tough decision here. Should Kevin call? Would be eliminated in 6th place. Regardless, the next person to go out will take home $945. So Kevin is going to lay down his ace-9, which I think is a very, very good idea. You know, even assuming Iggy has, ace-10, ace-jack, ace-queen. Oh, he called? Kevin called, and he's eliminated. Shaking players' hands, saying, job well done. Holy cow, Kevin eliminated. In 6th place, he'll take home $945. And we're already down to 5 players. That is what, 20 minutes in? We'll go ahead and get that walk of shame going, but maybe not. Maybe it's the walk of pride. Because Kevin, you're taking home just under $1,000, which something to sneeze at, I think, would be the saying. So we're going to get back into the action here. I'm going to fold around to Chance. Chance is playing with 2 cards, and he's going to make his decision and call 30,000. Blinds are up, if I didn't say before. Jerry will check his option, and we got 2 players into the flop. Flop comes 5, 6, 8, 3 spades. Chance reaching for some yellow chips. He's going to bet 75,000. Jerry will very quickly fold, and Chance takes home a nice little pot. Want to thank our sponsors and Posh Hair Salon, the tax lady. It is tax season. Do your taxes, people. Otherwise, the IRS will come after you. Heavenly Hog. Delectable lineup of food there. Randy's Diner. Not even arguably just the best diner in Fargo. And then our sponsoring charity, Dunn County Fair Association. They're a great partner of Dakota Poker Tour and FPN. I want to thank Dunn County for having us come all the way out to Dickinson and put on a fantastic tournament. Not the most players, but, man, it was lively in here. We had great cast of characters. We had people we haven't seen in a while simply because we're in Dickinson, which is 5.5 hours away from Fargo and other side of the state from where Dakota Poker Tour seems to reside mostly on the east side. But this just proves we are willing and able to travel. It's kind of nice to get out of the east side every now and then and come visit our friends and poker family out on Bismarck, Dickinson area, Minot. Someone coming from Glendive, Joe Kessel from Glendive. And our upcoming events. We are working on our next event. Will be in March. Working on final details and where and when and all that. So be on the lookout for that. But our scheduled events, April 3rd, Buffalo City Showdown in Jamestown at the Buff Bar. April 16th, the Eagle Eye Tournament in Valley City. And April 29th through the May 1st, Speedway Full Throttle Poker Open in West Fargo. As we continue Season XI, it's important to remember that And I think, yeah, now we're back. Okay, and slight technical difficulties. Well, we figured it out. I don't think there's any challenge we cannot overcome. So I'm not sure where we left off, but head over to DakotaPokerTour.com. If you're on mobile, and click on the top right, the 3 bars, click on live updates, and you'll be able to see in real time how this tournament is going. You can also check out the leaderboard. We can see players' profiles, everything, all of our upcoming events. Very much needed revamp to the website. So Johnny will raise to 100,000. Action on Chance Lang to call, and he will fold. And that'll give Johnny the check mark, and he'll take home some chips. Oh my goodness. I don't know how we missed it, but Merrill Piercy is out in 5th place. He'll take home $1,110. So it's down to Chance, Jerry, Iggy, and Johnny. Speaking of Johnny, we're going to hand with him right now, raising up to 130,000. Chance Lang, 115,000 to call. Now, Chance's options here to call, raise, or fold. Flip a 3-sided coin and figure it out. Yeah, Chance isn't going anywhere. He will call. Jerry will fold his 8-7 offsuit. And we're going to be big slick versus big slick. And in come the flop. Ace, 10, ace. Oh my God. Both players flop a set or flop trips. Chance is going to try to slow play it. So will Chance will slow play, trapping Johnny. He's going to bet 100,000. Chance goes all in, instant call, and we're going to have some good belly laughs over this one, I think. Yeah. Yep. They both played that hand exactly. Couldn't have played it any different. So we're going to see a chop pot. Very interesting chop pot, but we'll chop it up nonetheless. Next player to go out, have $1,400 to take home. We'll go ahead and take a look at those payouts, all the way up to $4,200. And maybe we'll also take a look at our chip stacks. Update on the chip stacks. So, because holy cow, didn't even see Merrill go out. Must have been dealing with our technical difficulties, and away he went. But they're fairly even. Really even chip stacks. Kind of unreal. And we got battle between Jerry and Iggy. Flop comes king, king, ace. So Jerry will lead out. Bet of it looked like about 30,000 or so, and that was enough to get Iggy off his hand. I want to thank all our friends joining in on Facebook and or YouTube, maybe both. You could really boost our viewers if you watched on both. Get all your tablets and phones and computers and tune in to the DPT. And no matter which place you're watching, go ahead and like the video, share it. You can even subscribe if you're on YouTube, or I think you could subscribe on Facebook now. And if you're on YouTube, hit the notification bell to be notified of all of our upcoming live streams and events and promotional videos coming out. So Iggy versus Johnny here. Flop is ace 8-8. Turn is a 5.
Two, I guess. Really? You have to give me another little piece of shit. Really need two to trade? I have one face card. Two.
Little shout out on our Facebook live stream, Isaiah Padilla. Cheering on Jerry or Iggy. He doesn't care. I'd like to see them go 1 and 2. So Jerry raises to 100,000. We'll fold around to Chance. Chance sitting in the think tank for a bit. That's important. Kind of moved quick from 8 to 4. But being four-handed, you play a different range of cards than you would if it was 7, 8, 9-handed, even 10-handed at the table. Your ranges are going to open up. You can't always wait for the premium hand. Oftentimes, if you have an ace or a king in your hand, you're going to have probably the best pre-flop hand. So that's probably why it took Chance a while to think about it. Lucky for him, he folded his queen 6 over the queen 9, I think it was. Another major thank you to Fat Fish Brewery. They have an incredible selection of beer, excellent food, and their staff is just top-notch, making sure everyone is fed and have all the drinks they need. alcoholic or non-alcoholic.
Iggy. Diet Coke. Hey, no drinks on the table. You can put them on the chair. Nope, no thank you.
Mine's a regular Coke.
You need a regular Coke? And you need a Coke too, Randy? No. Okay, we're just Coke.
Action on Iggy, but perhaps more important than that for him right now is the Diet Coke. He'll fold. Over to Johnny. Johnny raises it up to 100K. Chance will fold. And there he is, Jerry Pockel. He's got a decision to make with the cards in his hand, as per the usual. He's got 70K to call. Looks like he will make the call. And we're going to have 2 players in on the flop. I'm going to guess a 4 of clubs pops on the screen. No, not even close. King 5 queen. Jerry in the lead with his pocket 6s, but Johnny 2 overs and open ender. And we got 4 Dickinson residents battling it out. I would imagine that all 4 of these players know each other and perhaps very well. Johnny will fold over to Chance. Chance on the button. Will fold. Over to Mr. Pockel. He'll call, and Iggy will check his option. Iggy Weigel once again of Weigel Insurance. You want to know why go with Weigel? Well, Iggy's why. So Iggy will bet 30,000 and Jerry will fold.
Just drop that anywhere.
She flustered me. She made me nervous.
Jerry looking down at 2 cards. Looks like he's reaching for chips for a raise. And he will. Raise it up to, I'm going to guess, 95,000. 115,000 is the raise. Nice size bet. And it's a nice size bet because of many reasons. Well, it basically gets players with medium hands, not the greatest, maybe 1 high card. Gets them to fold, and he picks up blinds and antes, which no player is absolutely hurting for right now. But buying or financing another orbit around the table never hurts in this stage of the game. So I like that we're seeing aggressive play from our players on our final table. Oftentimes these final tables can really slow down, grind to a halt. No one wants to be the next person out. No one wants to make that big move or make a mistake. So normally players will play with just premium hands, which it's a strategy. But again, coming down to the final table, 4 players left. The range of hands that players would normally play is going to open up. It should naturally. Here we'll have Chance and Johnny going to the flop 8, 10 jack, 3 hearts. So now both players have to worry about a flush draw. But Johnny will test that. I think they call that a C bet. 50,000. Chance reaching for a stack. Yeah, Chance is going to raise to 200,000. I think that was a phenomenal re-raise by Chance, really testing what Johnny has there. 50,000, not really a huge size. It might be enough to get some crappy hands off, but knowing Chance had, you know, essentially an open-ender, or actually a gut shot, and higher cards, you know, just not worth it for Johnny.
One, two, three, four, and five. Thank you.
Want to thank all the dealers that came out yesterday. Some even came on Friday, which if they came from Fargo on Friday, you were bucking a blizzard, which I actually came out on Friday afternoon. And I had a big old van and trailer, and the wind was howling and crosswind the whole time coming from the north. So a little bit of a butt puckering situation, white knuckling, but we made it here. Able to set up last night thanks to Fat Fish Brewery for allowing us to stay a little bit later than when they're open to finish doing the bulk of the setup. Chance will raise to 60,000. Jerry will call, and we'll see a flop. And flop comes deuce, queen, 9, 2 hearts. So Chance picking up an open ender. Jerry spiking the queen. Very interesting. This is one of those calms before the storms. It's a hand that could really brew into something big. And there's an 8, so Chance will shove all in for about 555,000. Big decision here for Jerry. Would leave him with about 10,000 left in chips, which doesn't even cover a small blind after this hand.
Blinds have changed. The small blind is 20,000, and the big blind is 40,000. And the ante is 40,000.
Jerry very stoically sitting in the think tank. If I had to guess what Jerry's occupation was, kind of looks like a train conductor, to be honest. Maybe some what is it? BNSF? Yeah. I'm going to guess Jerry's a train conductor, and he conducted his train to fold. Blinds just went up to 20,000, 40,000 with a big blind ante of 40,000. And we'll have our action on Chance. Chance will fold. And our train conductor, Jerry Pockel, will reach for some chips. Looks like he's going to raise to 150,000, maybe 125. Nope. He bets. Everyone folds. We're good. Iggy, as we know, is an insurance guy. Iggy Weigel Insurance. So says the back of his shirt. Just trying to have some fun with guessing more of our players' occupations, but they busted out left and right real quick. So we're left with Jerry, the train conductor, Iggy, the insurance guy, and we still gotta figure out what's up with Johnny and Chance. What are they up to nowadays, huh? Did just get word from our research team that Johnny Wenlick, growing up, did want to grow up to become an astronaut. I don't think that happened. Johnny kind of seems like an archaeologist, maybe. Maybe he digs up bones. That'd be cool. Jerry folds. Iggy folds. Over to Johnny. Johnny will just call. And action on Chance. Chance, the last one. We have to figure out what his occupation is. He'll check. Flop comes 3-10-6. Johnny checks. Chance will fire away for 100K. Love the aggressiveness. Oftentimes in this situation, first person to bet will win, given the other player doesn't have a hand. Chance will call from the small blind. Jerry will raise it on up. 145,000. 165. Correction. So 125,000 to call for Chance. In Chance's spare time, I think he leads a pretty cool group of high school kids into Knowledge Bowl competitions. And word on the street says Chance's Knowledge Bowl competitors are the best. But Chance will fold there to Jerry's raise. So he'll steal Chance's small blind. Got a couple more shout-outs on the Facebook live stream in the chat comment. Brian Saxerud is rooting for Chance. So is Sky Murphy. So Jerry will call in the small blind. Iggy has the option in the big blind. Flop comes Jack, 10 Jack. Jerry will check. Iggy checks. Ace on the turn. Jerry checks. Iggy fires away for 50,000. And Jerry will fold. So chance of fold. Jerry looks down at 2 cards and will fold. You know, when you're not in the blinds and you, even if you don't have necessarily a premium hand, or you don't, but you have a high card or something, and something that might pass as a pretty good hand at this stage in the game, you know, might as well fold to save yourself some chips, and who knows, maybe smaller big blind, the 2 in front of you did by chance catch a nice hand. So action will be first on Jerry. I think he looked at the dealer very annoyed at his cards. It's not Randy's fault. Johnny will call, chance the option. He'll check. We'll see a flop. Flop comes 4, Jack 9. Johnny will lead out for 70,000. Chance will re-raise to 140,000, putting the pressure on Johnny. So decisions here for Johnny. Johnny re-raises to 340,000. Chance snap goes all in immediately. So once again, putting the pressure on Johnny. Johnny thought maybe he was making a good call or a good raise. Holy cow, that's a lot of chips coming Chance's way, and I think that's our first player over $1 million in chips. Very strong, aggressive play by Chance. And there's our chip count, so Johnny crippled, but not terrible considering the blinds. Could go a few orbits around the table without feeling the absolute need to press. So Johnny will raise up to 130,000. Action on chance. And Chance throwing away his king 7. Smart idea considering Johnny has the ace. Over to Jerry. 90K to call in the big blind. I think generally speaking at this point in the game, having an ace in your hand is considered fairly premium. You can flame me in the comments if I'm absolutely wrong, but so Jerry will call. Flop comes deuce, queen 6, 2 diamonds. Jerry will lead out for 75,000. Johnny re-raises to 150,000. Jerry will quickly fold, so Johnny regaining some of those chips he lost in the previous hand to chance. I wouldn't quite say that didn't really feel like Johnny was on tilt there. I think he calculated that if he re-raised chance last hand and he would come over the top, if he folded, he wouldn't be absolutely crippled. So Johnny just keeping on the gas, staying aggressive. You know, tilting would have been, I'm all in. But smart raise, actually a bet from Johnny. So Johnny will fold it right away. Over to chance. He'll fold. Jerry, our short stack at the table, getting chunked last hand, 360,000. Over to our second shortest stack, Iggy Weigel. Flop become deuce, deuce, 9. Jerry bets 50,000. Iggy folds. So Jerry will pull in some much-needed chips. That'll put him in third place. And Iggy will be in fourth. But as the saying goes in poker, chip in a chair, and you're still there. Chance and Jerry fold. Over to our Iggs the Waggle Weigel. Looks like he calls. Over to Johnny. Johnny says, here's Johnny raising up to 140,000. Iggy folds very quickly. Jerry in the under the gun, 40K to call. You know, one thing I do like about this final table is all four of our players are fairly aggressive, constantly raising, re-raising. Jerry will raise it up to 175,000 here. Getting the rest of the table to fold, and Jerry pulls in the blinds and antes. Fold around to Chance. Chance in the small blind. Looks like he'll just call. And Jerry will look down at his 2 cards and he'll check. Our flop comes 3-2-6. Chance reaching for chips. Looks to be 200,000, maybe 175. Be 200K. Jerry will lay it down. So actually we, again, our research team hard at work. We did figure out Chance Lang's occupation. And you wouldn't know it from looking at him, but Chance is actually a very successful business owner, and he operates the North Dakota's only kiddie motel. So he'll house cats, and there, being that it is a motel, there's no pool there, which is fine because cats don't like water. And Johnny looking down at 4 deuce offsuit, and he'll fold over to Chance. He's got 10-7 offsuit. He'll fold over to Jerry. And Jerry will raise to 190,000, meaning Iggy will very quickly fold with his garbage hand. And Chance will call the 40,000. Jerry also calls. And we'll have 3 players in on the flop. 7, ace, 6. Johnny checks. Chance checks. Jerry will throw out 100,000. Johnny folds. And Chance will fold too. So Jerry actually spiking a set on the flop. There's an updated chip count there. Iggy Weigel in the bottom, 315,000. Jerry and Johnny deadlocked, essentially, virtual tie. And then Chance, 1.3 mil. So Chance could sit back. He has the luxury of sitting back for a bit if he really wanted to. But I think when Chance has the chance, he'll push. So Johnny and Chance both fold. So Iggy, he's going to go all in. And so Iggy's all in for 300,000 was his actual chip count. Johnny calls. So we have an all-in and a call. Chance folds. And Jerry. He's going to sit in the think tank for a bit. Just asked essentially Johnny how much more he has in his chip stack. So Jerry stacking up enough chips to call. So we see Jerry's ability to think situations through just as if there was an issue on the engine of his train. He's going to fold, which is fine. So we're going to have an all-in and a call. Iggy's ace-10 suited versus Johnny's ace-jack suited. Iggy's not loving what he's running into. I mean, you're short-stacked and you're waiting for some kind of a premium hand even would be nice. But, wow, that's going to pretty much do it. We can get runner, club. Iggy needs runner, club. And it's a 9 of diamonds. That's going to do it for Iggy. Johnny pulling in some chips is almost doubling up. But Iggy Weigel eliminated in 4th place. And goodness gracious, he's taking home $1,400. You could buy a used car at that price. Probably has high mileage and maybe roll down windows, but the oil was maybe just changed, and that vehicle is $1,400. You could buy one right now. So Don't forget Iggy Weigel Insurance. Iggy's the man. If you have any insurance needs, give him some free spot here. So Chance will fold over to Jerry. Jerry folds. We're down to 3. Next person to go out gets $1,900 all the way to the top. $4,200 is our top place prize.
I did move it, but I didn't see you grab it again. I was going to stop you. I kind of took my eyes off you for 1 second.
So again, we're down to 3. Actions on Johnny in the small blind. He'll call. Chance will have to decide what he wants to do now. He'll check. And we'll see if flop comes. 10 deuce 4. Johnny checks. Chance will fire away for 150,000. And Johnny will call. So we'll see a turn. Turn is a king. Chance is all in. And Johnny just could not stomach it. But wow, what a nice little hand there for Chance to pick up some more chips. Has 2 pair, decides to slow play it. Kind of. No, he didn't. He bet immediately, so that wasn't even close to slow playing it. But knowing that there were 2 hearts out there, you know, he's thinking if Johnny does have 2 hearts, he's got a nice little flush draw. So if he wants to see a 4th card, he will have to pay for it. And that was a very smart idea for Chance. Again, I applaud him for being aggressive. And honestly, you have to be aggressive at a final table. You know, pick your spots, but when you sense weakness, almost doesn't matter what you have. You press, and the other person, they have nothing to call with. So if they do, I mean, who knows? That would be a pretty awkward situation, but Chance will call in the small blind. Looks like Jerry will re-raise, grabs a massive stacks of yellows. I don't even think he counted it out, but it looks to be about 250,000. So he'll raise it to 290,000. Yeah, Jerry, very nice play. I'll call that a full send bet. Jerry folds. Johnny picks up the small blind. He'll get his big blind and ante back. I think blinds are up 30,000, 60,000 with a 60,000 big blind ante. So it definitely hurts to be in the big blind. So we're gonna play the game where we don't know the player's hands. So Jerry will raise to 250,000. Johnny all in. Chance will get out of the way real quick. Johnny calls here. It would put his tournament life at risk. And this is the fun part in not knowing his cards is we get to play along as if we're at the table. There she is. There she is. I feel like Jerry's been the aggressor a lot, but then someone else will come over the top of him, and then he just has this massive decision to make. Does he want to commit all his chips in the middle? Does he? I mean, it's a call. It's a call. So Johnny's ace queen suited versus Jerry's king queen. Queen's dead. Jerry's going to need a lot of help on the flop. Flop comes 8-9 deuce. We're looking for a king and a king only at this point. Could get 10 jack runner. There's a 3. Oh. Needs a king and a king only to stay alive. And it's a 7, then that's going to do it for Jerry. Wow, what an excellent tournament for Jerry. Being eliminated in 3rd place, and we are going to be heads up here in Dickinson at the Fat Fish Brewery. Jerry Pockel taking home $1,900. Next person to go out will take $2,625. We actually put a 6 there. It's okay. It's off by $1, not more. So it's going to be Chance Lang versus Johnny Wenlick.
Yes, the dealer will be a small blind.
Dana, we waive the big blind, Annie?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, so you're small blind.
What's the blinds on? Like how much
The
time?
blinds are at 36 to 60.
30, 60.
60.
And your first act, C9 is first.
Notice the new angle.
30, 60 for 25 minutes.
Yeah, until it goes up, but there's no more big blind in. Yeah, still the same.
If I go all in, you got me covered. So if I go all in, you got me covered.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Right now. I can change that.
So we're down to Chance and Johnny. Yep, big blind ante has been removed now that we're heads up. Chance has $30K to call. He'll just fold. Want to welcome or shout out a couple more people on the live stream. Angela Walker cheering for Chance. So is Sharon Keller. So big old Chance fan club in our comment section on Facebook. Oh boy, yeah. So Chance will call 30,000, and Johnny will raise to 200,000, 260,000. And Chance will quickly fold.
That's what it sounded like. So I thought, oh, right.
No, you'll know when I say all in. Fair enough, thank you.
So once again, for our upcoming Dakota Poker Tour events, we will be announcing a March event this week. It's just not finalized yet, venue, et cetera, but we should be announcing one for March. We'll announce the rest of our tournaments here after this hand. So Johnny announces call and Chance announces raise.
200.
So he's going to raise to 260,000. And Johnny will call. Johnny is our chip leader. Chance has been more aggressive, I'd say. Flop comes deuce, 10-10. Chance first act in the big blind. So he's reaching for chips. Looks to be 300,000, which might not take Johnny away from his flush draw. He's all in. Yeah, snap alls in. And Chance calls. So we're going to see Chance with his ace high is beating Johnny, but it's a coin flip because Johnny has a ton of outs. And there's a spade. Chance wants to avoid all the 14 outs up top, so 25% of the deck. And it's a 9, which means Chance doubles up off of an ace high off Johnny. Chance has over about $2.5 million in chips. Johnny will be left with about $500,000 in chips. And the difference between first and second place, $1,600. So definitely taking first over second is going to be something you're shooting for. And for Chance right now, you don't know it right now as it happens because you're on a 15-minute delay. But when you see this, the Chance fan section better go nuts in the comments. So Chance survives, doubles up. And we're going to continue our heads-up action Going back to the rest of our upcoming events. So we have in March, we're going to announce one for March next week. And then April 3rd, that one is locked in. It's a Sunday. We'll be out in Jamestown at the Buff Bar for the Buffalo City Showdown. Always a fun time seeing our friends in Jamestown and the surrounding area. Definitely a place we love to be. And then after that, we've got April 16th, Valley City Eagles Club for the Eagle Eye Showdown. Also one of a fantastic tournament, and we're honored to be a part of that one as well. And then April 30th, we return to the Speedway Event Center in West Fargo for the Full Throttle Poker Open. And pretty much with any DPT event, there is a chance to win a free seat if at one of our FPN Poker League nights. So the next one, April 3rd in Jamestown at the Buff Bar, you can win a free seat at Valley City Eagles Club. I believe they play on Sundays. I think there's another day they play on. I can't remember off the top of my head. Old 10 Saloon in Buffalo, North Dakota, Castleton Vets Club, and Bismarck AmVets. So there is 4 chances to win a free seat for the Buffalo City Showdown. Again, that's coming up on April 3rd. It'll be here before we know it.
And unfortunately, you're in the big one.
So sometimes it's not a chance of it's not who wants it more. It's oftentimes about who gets lucky and catches the cards at the right time. But having a fat stack, such as Chance Lang has, 2.3 million in chips, certainly doesn't hurt anything. So Chance calls, Johnny checks. We'll see a flop. Flop comes Queen 8-9. Both players flop a open or a gut shot. And we'll check. Over to the turn is a 3 of clubs. Chance fires away very quickly for 150,000. I don't think that 3 is going to make Johnny go anywhere. Johnny will call. Yep, Johnny calls. Chance has 10 outs. Can he spike one here? It's an ace of diamonds. Johnny checks. Chance asking for a chip count. So Chance will bet 300,000. Not quite effectively putting Johnny all in, but if he would call, it would severely cripple him more. Oh my God, Johnny calls and he's the winner of this hand. As we see. Yeah, so Chance taking the risk, kind of beating himself up over, giving Johnny a ton of chips. A lot more even now. If Johnny would be in a double-up scenario, that would basically flip-flop the positions these players were in just a hand ago. But Chance still holding on to pretty decent lead. I think it was 1.9 million chips to 1.2. These players are now on their 11th hour of poker. Which, again, that always comes into play when we get down to these final tables. Who has the stamina to continue making good, sound plays and calls and bets and folds, and we'll see a flop here. 3 Jack 8. Chance and Johnny both check. Onto the turn. Is a 5. Chance continuing to be aggressive. Will bet 100,000. He'll fold. Johnny will fold. Chance reaching for chips to raise. Raise to 280,000. Johnny will quickly fold. Chance now has about double Johnny's chips. Johnny bets. Chance folds. Johnny pulls in the blinds. Chance a call. Jerry raises to 200,000 and chance a fold. Johnny looking to potentially raise here is what it looks like. Chance will quickly fold, so move on to our next hand. Another thing to perhaps appreciate is these players may have been playing for 11 hours, but our dealer right there, the man, the myth, the legend, Randy, he's been dealing just as long. You know, we've given him breaks, but Randy being one of our excellent dealers, he loves the final table, and the cards that he's shuffling are RFID cards, are a little bit stiffer than your average card, and that does come into play. Dealer fatigue. So we'll see how Randy deals with the adversity of sore and tired fingers. Maybe he's a seasoned veteran, so maybe this is just another walk in the park for him. Who knows? But definitely thank you to Randy and all of our dealers coming out. A bunch of locals that came out to deal for us. So we want to thank those people. And then our dealers that came from Fargo came out with us. Nice little trek. Nice to get out of town every now and then. Johnny will call. Over to Chance. Chance will raise it up. As per the usual to 260,000. Johnny calls. You know, if you are continuously raising pre-flop, you got to think sometimes they don't always have a good hand. So Chance will bet 275,000, a nice sizing. Johnny counting. Johnny pondering. Johnny stacking, unstacking. Johnny stacking, stacking. Johnny all in. Incredible how much pressure these two players have put on each other with raising and re-raising, going all in. Chance throwing away the best hand, but that flush, that 3 diamonds on the flop certainly scared him away. You can imagine. I mean, let's say Chance calls that, finds out Johnny has 2 diamonds. I mean, you're completely dead. But we're going to be virtually tied on the chip count. No, not even close to virtually tied. It's 1.7 million to 1.3. Another shout out, Stan Keller joining us in the comment section. Another Chance fan club. Chance has 30,000 to call. Chance will call. Johnny's all in. Chance will quickly fold. You know, both players are bringing the fire when it comes to aggression on the poker table, but no one brought fashion like Johnny Wenlick did today. I mean, what an incredible little outfit there. I don't even know what it is, but it's colorful. It's got a cool design. And you want a jacket that puts Johnny Wenlick, you know, in a nutshell. That's Johnny Wenlick in a nutshell.
I'm gonna try and make it easier to get her out of here. Put her up the middle.
No deal?
You know, there's a lot of forbidden words in life. One of them may be at the craps table. You don't say the S word 7. We're not at a craps table now. And as players were just discussing the dirty C word in poker. That is chop. And at the Dakota Poker Tour, there is no chopping. We need a first and a second place. We don't want 2 first places.
So they don't count out in the cards, they just pay for whatever we take in.
Chance appears to be wanting to raise here, and he'll probably raise it up that 280. Johnny will call. Now this could be interesting. Johnny's 2 cards are very much alive against Chance's. Chance obviously dominating pre-flop, but Chance all in and a call. So Johnny flops an open ender. Chance ace high thus far. Could get runner diamond for the knockout flush. Five on the turn. That pairs Johnny's 5. Needs an ace or a 10. Chance looking for an ace or a 10 on the river. It's a queen. Oh, and that means Johnny had more chips than Chance. Johnny won on an all-in, which means we have a new Dakota Poker Tour champion, Johnny Wenlick of Dickinson, knocking out Chance Lang in second place. Chance Lang taking home $2,625. And our winner here, Johnny Wenlick, taking home $4,200. Boy, what a tournament by both players. They cannot be upset at their play going home tonight. They both were super aggressive in making the plays they had to in order to take home first place. So we are going to take a small break. We'll come back very shortly for our final player interview. Be back after 5 minutes. Thank you. welcome back to our. We got the winner right here, Johnny Wenlick of Dickinson. Congratulations. So you and Chance have been battling back and forth. You guys are both very aggressive. Can you kind of describe Chance as an opponent?
He's a tough opponent, I'll tell you that. I know I had to take and make some draws if I wanted to take and win the tournament. And it seemed like every time I wanted to make a draw, he had the better hand. But I did get lucky in the end, so.
Yeah, and luck, but a ton of skill. I mean, you were a force on the felts tonight. So $4,200, what are you going to do with the winnings?
I got to go give it to the wife.
She deserves the world is what I hear. Staying out late on a school night like this, Johnny. But was this the biggest winning of your career?
No, it's not the biggest, but it's nice to win it, let me put it that way.
Right, absolutely. Any shout-outs you want to give to the people?
Just everybody from DPT, I appreciate everything you guys do, and I wish you get more tournaments out here in the Dickinson area because I would play a lot more. Otherwise, I just want to give a shout-out to all my Fargo buddies who I used to play with many years ago and played with them for 55 years. So it was kind of fun to get back in the groove again.
Well, we're definitely happy to see you out here in Dickinson at the Phat Stacks tournament. You are now eligible for the Tournament of Champions in the running for Player of the Year with this nice big win. So congratulations once again, Johnny. And I think that's going to do it for us here in Dickinson. Our next tournament scheduled April 3rd, another Sunday tournament for the Buffalo City Showdown in Jamestown. That's going to do it for us. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Brian of the Dakota Poker Tour. We'll beat you to the buff.